It's a new day. Back at not quite a homestead or a survival situation. I bought some hydraulic cement. Quickcrete hydraulic water stop cement. I read the instructions and it says to clean up any loose debris, algae, that kind of stuff around the area. I inspected the well and hold on, someone's okay. That was actually one of my neighbors. She was very like old lady, and she said she lives like alone on the first house to the right up the mountain, which I've passed by a bunch of times on my bike rides. But she was like, if you need anything, let me know. I mean, I might have asked her for like 15 gallons of water if my friends weren't coming up today, and I asked them to bring some gallons, and I thought about asking my friends to go to like a RV place and fill up my 15 gallon container. It all kind of depends on how this spring project goes today, but that was really nice. I talked to her for like a minute or two, and very friendly, cool country vibes. Yeah, her name's Dee. So before I had kind of stopped where the instructions on the hydraulic cement say to clean any loose debris and algae and that kind of stuff, and I don't really see too much loose stuff, so I think we're kind of set. There's really no algae because it's covered, so algae can't grow. There's no sunlight. Which actually I have a plastic cover there. If the sunlight can get in, algae can grow, and that's not good for the drinking supply. So at least I don't think it's good for the drinking supply. So I think sometime soon I'll just cut like a little piece of plywood about the size of this hole and put it on top of the plastic. So I use this gallon plastic jar to take some water out. I went through, I would say, about 3 gallons or 3 or 4 gallons out, and then filled up the jug so I can mix it with the concrete. No sense in using good drinkable or clean. This is clean water other than the dead animal that was in there, but I think it probably has flushed out by now with the bleach and the kind of leakage. Obviously I'm gonna get it tested, but anyways, I'm using the water from the reservoir to mix with the concrete, so I don't have to use the stuff that I bought in the stores or I got elsewhere. And I have my rubber gloves, citronella tiki oil thing. I think I'm ready to mix. And I think the strategy I'm gonna take is I'll start where the water line is, or where it was, which is right underneath where the hose the intake is, and just go on that level. Not gonna do the back wall because that's where the water comes out of from the spring, but I'll go across the front and on the sides if I of any place that I see like cracks and things like that. So hope that works. I got some cement here. It cures very quickly, so they recommend mixing only like the amount you need. So this is the first time ever doing this, so I just put in a little bit, and it's supposed to be 4.5 parts cement to 1 part water. I'm gonna pour in the water soon. I'm just gonna use my hand to put the cement on. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and everybody's just using their hands with rubber gloves, so I think I probably added too much water to that mix. So luckily off to the sides of the mixing bucket, mixing bucket, hey, you can see my reflection. There was some drier stuff, so I managed to stuff some of the drier stuff into the hole there. And it's gonna take I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes for that water level, I think, to get up to the bottom of that intake valve, intake hose. I also want to do the cracks on the corners there. But before I do that, I just want to go down to the basement and see. Yesterday I left a bucket at the end of the outflow pipe, and just curious if any water accumulated in that bucket overnight. Based on science, I don't think any water should have gone in there, but just for the heck of it. So my science is obviously wrong. The bucket is full, and because of the weight, the water put on the bucket, the hose is no longer near the bucket. It's no longer going into the bucket. So basically overnight, this thing was slowly, the water, I guess, I don't know, my science is bad. I gotta look at some, I gotta read some books and read up on stuff. So basically the hose was pointed downward in the reservoir overnight, but I mean, there shouldn't have been any suction action going on, but obviously, like, there was. So what is going on? What could have happened? Hose is pointed downward. I don't know. It's a mystery to me. But I guess that could work, like, if I can't get this sealed, but I'm pretty confident I can get this sealed. I mean, how hard can it be? That's what I said before, when I said I was gonna just stick the hose in the spring and it's gonna work. I covered up what to me looked like the most offending spots. So that would have been near the intake pipe and on the corner and on that corner. If you look below the water level, you can actually see a crack below the water level, but I wasn't too worried about that because before, the water level was actually higher than what it is now. So I don't think the leak is below the water level. If there is a leak, it might be like a tiny little leak, but like the bigger leak that is outflowing faster than the rate of the spring is somewhere like a ½ inch below the intake hose. So I'm gonna give this a try before I mix any more cement and start going crazy trying to patch the whole damn thing, and see if there's any improvement or if this actually fixed the whole problem. Okay, so now down at the bottom, I took away the pump, no longer need that. replaced the pipe, the black pipe. I think it's ADB pipe with a more flexible tubing. Allows me to kind of see what's going on and also bend it and route it easier. It can kink easier, but for now, this is what I need. And that's a 50-gallon, I think. 50 or 55 probably. And hopefully, if the seal is good up at the hill, the reservoir will fill up, it'll reach the intake hose and start to bring water into this barrel. Okay, I checked the reservoir, and I mean, it's not been too long, so that may be the reason why it's not full yet or filling above the intake pipe. I feel like it's like around where it was filling up to before, but I'm gonna give it like an hour or two and see if it gets any better. In the meantime, I'm I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I'm digging this part. This is where the pipe is coming down from the spring, and eventually it goes to the basement. And I need to basically know where this pipe is buried, like pretty much all the way down, because I'm gonna be getting a driveway put in, and I don't want the heavy machinery to just rip that pipe out and destroy it. So yep, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I've dug about, I don't know if you can see, kind of the brown spot by the tarp and the lawnmower. I would say it's a good 30 feet, if not longer, maybe 40, 30 to 40. And then it goes under the snow plow. So what I'm probably gonna do is start digging randomly on the other side of that snow plow. But we're gonna stop for now and go check up on that dam. And let's cross our fingers. All right, so I have some bad news. The water level hasn't really gone up. So I'm gonna need to work on this more. I think the next step will be, oh god, these freaking mosquitoes. Let me get out of here. Okay. So I think the next step is to, I'm gonna try to, I am going to pump most of the water out of that reservoir and then get to work with the hydraulic cement and kind of do a thorough job of sealing everything, like all around that, the line where the water is currently stopping at. I mean, I guess I used to be good at science, but I'm no longer good at science. But that seems to make logical, scientific sense to me. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then I also have to finish digging up the hose. I don't have too much to go, and I have a few friends coming. They'll be here in about an hour, so hopefully things will go a little faster if they're willing to help. Okay, I'm back at the well. My friends are still here. They're working on a few projects I gave them down at the house. Gave them a tour of the property, and let me turn the video around. I'm gonna basically pump the water out, probably as much as I can, And what I decided to do was to start to work on those corners. I think water came out of those corners at some point, but it's really not really coming out of those corners anymore. And I think that those corners could be a source of leakage, because I really don't think it's leaking through the concrete itself. I mean, this thing is freaking thick. So that's kind of my next step. But while I'm at it, I'm probably gonna try to cover like all three sides, and obviously not the back side where the water is flowing out of for the spring.